Hello. Greetings from World University and School on Monday, January 12th, 2026 at 10 a.m. Pacific time. And as we wait to see if people will join this open conversation, potentially weekly business meeting for World University and School, news and question and answer as well, I'd like to share a little news with you. Uh, so, using the agenda and news from a week ago, beginning on both blogs with Laramie Mountains. Dear Universitians, friends, Roland Vogel, Executive Director of Stanford Law Codex, Peter Norvig, Google AI Director, and Stanford Distinguished Educator Fellow, all greetings. Happy New Year 2026 and 2025 season's greetings and holiday salutations. Letter again in the January 1st, 2026 blog, my blog, scott-mccloud.blogspot.com, beginning Mount Tamalpais, in which I write further, seeking to move the WUAS Academic Medical Center and myself into a newly safe vacant with deed 670 Ridgecrest Road, Canyon, California 94516, near Berkeley. Soon, having been in asylum in Pennsylvania and Massachusetts for about 2.5 years until returning to a safer San Francisco Bay Area, first departing on December 10th, 2024 from Pittsburgh, PA, Penns Woods. Best Steam CC licensed open courseware, Wiki, hashtag Grow with Google WUAS on Twitter X and LinkedIn hashtags, World University and Schools, unprogrammed NTF, non-theist friends, friendly Quaker informed weekly business meeting continues to be what guides World University and School. And further, could these WUS agenda and news even be loosely coming into conversation with the Pibroch, classical Scottish bagpipe music forum? Perhaps. In looking to 2026, here are some of the questions I and WUAS in a somewhat unstructured hashtag Grow with Google WUAS program asked during the Google for Education H1 2026 K through 12 roadmap session on Tuesday, December 9th, 2025, having also attended this a second time on Thursday, December 11th, 2025. How best can Wiki World University and School, which is MIT, building on MIT OpenCourseWare in its 7 languages, in a Grow with Google WUS program, join or interoperate with the Google for Education Roadmap project, please? Thanks, Scott G.K. McCloud. And the blog posts that have asked this and regarding this Google for Education Roadmap project begin to Medicine Lake, Montana, from December of 2025 in my blog and World University and Schools blog. So, expanded this question. How best can Wiki World University and School in a Grow with Google WS program join the Google for Education Roadmap project and in developing IB, International Baccalaureate, high school, or similar diplomas, e.g., for 16 to 19-year-olds, in each of all 200 countries and in their main languages, as well as for WUAS to develop 200 major online research universities in all 200 countries from the nation states wiki subject page, which will facilitate each a major world-class online WUS University with Gemini AI and in all 7,159 living languages. And regarding a WUAS Universal Translator, and that's a wiki subject too, wiki.worlduniversityandschool.org/wiki/WUAS Universal Translator. And for free to students, online from home, bachelor, PhD, law, MD, IB High School or similar, AAAS, and master's, WUAS degrees, and potentially in a realistic virtual Earth for STEM field sites and a realistic virtual Earth for classrooms. And please see Peter Norvig's incredible #Tulify AI WUAS article, Revolutionizing Education with Machine Learning and AI, #World University in School, updated March 2nd, 2024 at the tulify.ai webpage URL. And see these related World University in School Twitter X feeds and regarding Gemini AI too. What does intelligent mean in real-time intelligence systems? And Gemini AI's fascinating response. In real-time intelligent systems, it begins, intelligence refers to ability of system to perceive, process, learn. So I wrote this to the Google for Education roadmap project, signing off with both one nonprofit 501c3 public charity, best STEAM CC licensed OCW OpenCourseWare Wiki, World University and School, which main webpage is worlduniversityandschool.org at this time. And also with two, the for-profit general stock company, WUS Corporation in California, which main website, beginning website at this time is worlduniversityandschool.org/academicpress.html. And further, again, since WUS Weekly Business Meeting is informed by unprogrammed friends, non-theist friends, NTF, NTQ, non-theist Quakers, monthly business meeting process, and is seeking further to develop a nominating committee, Roland Vogel, could I invite you to become the presiding clerk of the WUS Weekly Business Meeting Nominating Committee as director of Stanford Law Codex, potentially in collaboration with Stanford Law Codex membership or community. And for this nominating committee, potentially to develop both WUS wings, or possibly mainly the WUAS Corporation wing further. Further, recently, for about a day, these two main email addresses became inaccessible on my laptop computer while I could access them on my smartphone. president@worlduniversityandschool.org, WUAS_CEO@worlduniversityandschool.org. And I wonder whether the potential WUAS nominating committee could please seek out a WUAS CEO for the WUAS Corporation and regarding the Academic Press and WS Educational Services Store's beginning webpage, worlduniversityandschool.org/academicpress.html, and possibly also even presidents for each of all 200 countries online, WUAS universities in those countries and their main languages. Here are newly the best STEAM Creative Commons licensed OpenCourseWare Wiki Growth Google WUS Weekly Business Meeting agenda and news for 1/12, so that's today. And I had also posted in this email them for January 5th, 2026 as well. So with a week to season, I have heard back from in indirect ways and interesting ways about a number of these points already, a number of these items already via social media and email and in other ways. So again, how further can WUS best develop the one nonprofit 501c3 tax-exempt legal entity wing, worlduniversityandschool.org, and a big and, two, the for-profit general stock company legal entity in California wing, worlduniversityandschool.org /academicpress.html at this time, still sharing the same root URL domain, worlduniversityandschool.org. And with Peter Norvig's guidance to how best to code for both wings' AI platforms, build them out in each of all 200 countries and in all 7,159 living languages, and potentially in WUAS seeking to code for all 7.9 billion people on the planet, each a Wikidata PIN number. From here, wiki.worlduniversityandschool.org /wiki /u@World University. And regarding both WUAS existing two bank accounts, how best to, one, develop the 501c3 World University and School main wing, and it has a GuideStar page, a candid GuideStar page, guidestar.org /profile /27-310-5368 on the hashtag candid GuideStar platform. And, big and, two, possibly even multi-list the WUAS Corporation on many stock exchanges in many countries, but starting with one stock exchange, the NASDAQ, and then the Silicon Valley Long-Term Stock Exchange. One board or two boards, and in seeking to use AI in the boardrooms. Perhaps WUAS nominating committee with Stanford Law Codex could help identify and in nominating some WUAS board members. Greetings further from Free, Best, Steam, CC, OpenCourseWare, Wiki, Grow with Google, WS, World University and School. We continue to grow and develop, and regarding previous versions of OpenCourseWare, one URL for the languages that OpenCourseWare, MIT OpenCourseWare has been translated into for this is OPENCW period APRENDE.org /courses /translated-courses. And similarly, opencw.apprende.org /courses, which lists about 38 MIT departments derived from MIT OpenCourseWare. The translated courses page lists 6 other languages besides English, which MIT OpenCourseWare has been translated into. I think there are more, but these are the ones this page lists, and they include traditional Chinese, Turkish, Spanish, Portuguese, Persian, Korean. So, welcome to the WUAS News and Question and Answer, WUAS Weekly Business Meeting for January 12th, 2026, using the agenda and news posted on January 5th, 2026, in both blog posts beginning Laramie Mountains, Wyoming. And further, and how might GuideStar, Candid GuideStar, hashtag Candid GuideStar on Twitter, X, and LinkedIn, affiliated with the IRS, code its IT platforms for 501c3 federal tax-exempt World University and Schools profile, guidestar.org /profile /27-310-5368. Further, keeping in mind, the WUAS Corporation wing as a for-profit general stock company legal entity in the state of California. And that beginning webpage at World University and School again is worlduniversityandschool.org /academicpress.html, with WUAS Corporation's State of California tax idea at the bottom. And at the bottom of worlduniversityandschool.org's beginning webpage are the two other federal and state of California tax ID for the 501c3 tax exempt and legal entity. for both wings. And again, Peter Norvig, Google AI Director, and Jensen Huang, NVIDIA CEO. How best to build out further a realistic virtual Earth, hashtag realistic virtual Earth, hashtag for everything, and a hashtag realistic virtual Harbin, hot springs, and out of Google Street View with Time Slider, and especially at the same time for aging reversal and extreme longevity genetic drug therapies initially. All the best, abolitionally, a best Steam Creative Commons licensed open courseware wiki, World Univ and SCH on Twitter. Hashtag WUAS abolition movement is growing to protect people. And read more about this in the blog post in my blog, scott-mccloud.blogspot.com/2025/07 lotus-kamala-padma.html from, again, July of 2025. And in WUAS Seeking to Code for all 7.9 billion people on the planet, and to end poverty worldwide, and to facilitate free universal education, wiki, people to people, highest quality, building on MIT OpenCourseWare as well, but wiki schools for people to people teaching and learning among speakers of each of all 7,159 living languages. Friendly NTF, NTQ, Quaker greetings, yogically, Scott GK McCloud. Recording will be posted at the main current YouTube channel for World University and School, youtube.com/at Scott McCloud World University /videos. So previous week also on 1.5 focused on the Grow with Google for Education Roadmap WUS project. Moving to the first wing of World University and School in this agenda and news, the World University and School first of two WUS wings, the 501c3 similar nonprofit, see the GuideStar listing, CC licensed best Steam open courseware wiki World University and School wing. That URL again is worlduniversityandschool.org. Agenda item 0. This is from Monday, December 15th, 2025, as kind of video minutes. So the video minutes for 1/5, January 5th, which agenda and news I shared on December 15th, 2025, are posted in and see the Brooks Range, Alaska, AK, Brooks Range, AK blog posts in these regards. And see it also in the main current YouTube video channel for World University and School, youtube.com/Scott McCloud World University /videos. Agenda item 1. So WUS World University and School is in a Google for Education and a Grow with Google WUS program. And regarding potentially, possibly collaborating with the University of California. And there was a recent email I received from the University of California, Riverside, which is collaborating with Google AI, to the effect that at hashtag University of California, Riverside, hashtag Google AI accelerates experimentation, innovation, and practical solutions to everyday challenges. And there is a web page for this from services.google.com, explaining more about this collaboration between the University of California, Riverside and Google AI. So how best to partner with the University of California and regarding at Google AI. and that's a set of Twitter posts as well. And it retweets the Twitter post regarding the recording of the December 15th, 2025 Best Steam CC OpenCourseWare Wiki WS news and question and answer beginning to Medicine Lake on both blogs. Might it be possible in this process of exploring, collaborating with the University of California for innovation and experimentation and regarding Google AI and Gemini AI to on the 501c3 WS wing, which I think also the University of California is, even potentially find also a WS president with greatest universities experience, and two, a WS CEO, MBA. So potentially the WS president would be for USA, World University and School, but we'll explore this further. And you can read more about this in the blog post beginning Kalmiopsis Wilderness dash OR for Oregon in my blog, scott-mccloud.blogspot.com from December 2025. So 1A, how best to collaborate with the University of California's 10 campuses and with Google AI, and in each of all 200 countries as major online research WUAS universities. And again, the Google services.google.com AI page or web page regarding UC Riverside, and which is titled at University of California Riverside, Google AI accelerates experimentation, innovation, and practical solutions to everyday challenges. And further, that webpage says how one university prepares students for the future. A member of the world's most prestigious public university system, University of California Riverside, is a longtime adopter of Google tools like Google Workspace for Education. The university, which serves over 26,000 students, uses Gemini to make AI broadly available to students, faculty, and administration. With the Gemini, quote, with the Gemini app, we've empowered the entire institution with private, secure, generative AI at scale, and importantly, with appropriate safety protections. For our faculty, staff, and administration who want it, we're supporting their research and helping them improve their productivity and creativity with Gemini for Workspace, says Matthew Gunkel, Chief Information Officer, University of California, Riverside. Agenda item 2. How could World Univ and SCH build on hashtag MIT OCW to create online hashtag World WUS med schools? And from potentially the World University Med School wiki subject page, which will expand into potentially all 200 countries' medical schools for online free degrees, possibly from including from the back of Toyota ambulance buses as teaching hospitals. But further, in this agenda item 2, how could World University and School build on MIT OCW to create online World University and School medical schools in space, outer space, with humanoid robot, hashtag humanoid robot, hashtag MD professors of surgery, and all hashtag medical specialties in a hashtag realistic virtual earth for surgery, in hashtag realistic virtual universe for the next at space_station, the International Space Station missions, which has been going for decades and which is a Twitter feed as well at space_station. And this retweets an International Space Station Twitter post, recent one. After 245 days aboard the station, one at NASA astronaut and two Roscosmos cosmonauts landed in Kazakhstan aboard the Soyuz MS-27 on December 9th. Their journey covered over 3,900 orbits and 104 million miles, ending Expedition 73 and a milestone in space science and global collaboration. Read more about all of this in the blog post beginning Kalmiopsis Wilderness, Oregon, OR, in my blog, scott-mccloud.blogspot.com from December of 2025. Agenda item 3, regarding potentially AlphaFold 3 server and aging reversal genetic drug therapies. How could hashtag AlphaFold 3 server at this stage be integrated into a hashtag realistic virtual earth, hashtag for aging reversal? Think hashtag G straight view with hashtag G time slider, hashtag G cell view, hashtag G molecule view, Google molecule view, etc., to generate some hashtag aging reversal, hashtag gene drug therapies. And I asked this of Google AI mode, and how in particular could @World Univ and SCH do this? And regarding AlphaFold 3, an article titled in the Google blog, AlphaFold 3 predicts the structure and interactions of all of life's molecules. blog.google/AI/Google-DeepMind-AlphaFold-3-AI-model. And read further about this also in the blog post beginning Kalmiopsis Wilderness OR in my blogs and from December of 2025. Agenda item 3A, a realistic virtual earth for vaccines. Hashtag for aging a set of Twitter posts, hashtag for aging reversal and for extreme longevity, hashtag gene drug therapies emerging, hashtag FDA approved, how to develop a hashtag realistic virtual earth for vaccines with hashtag avatar agent electronic health records, hashtag WUAS digital twins or as digital twins, and with hashtag G street view with hashtag G time sliders at G cell view and G molecule view levels. So I asked this of Gemini, and once again got an incredible and informative response. And check it out. This is in also the blog post beginning Canyons of Teton Range, Wyoming, in my blog, scott-mccloud.blogspot.com from December of 2025. Agenda item 4. Siskiyou Kalmiopsis flower. This blog post begins from December 19th, 2025, when I headed up to visit my cousins in Northeast Oregon and began to wonder how World University and School and the WS Corporation could help all 18 counties east of the Cascades in Oregon. So excited in hashtag Eastern Oregon to grow hashtag physical digital, hashtag WUAS educational services stores at WS Press with hashtag Walmart, which is in about 20 countries or 19 countries out of 200 countries. And for particularly WUAS Outreach at World Univ and SCH in Twitter X, and even with eventual hashtag self-driving, all-wheel drive, hashtag Toyota Sienna vans doing deliveries in all 18 counties, and with MinePi, potentially Pi cryptocurrency coins, and for example, which you can begin to get, and other people can begin to get with this invitation code, minepi.com/SGKMac. So one of the ideas here is how to begin potentially our WS Educational Services stores, possibly in collaboration with Walmart, in all in Eastern Oregon. And in today's 12 January 1st, January 12th, 2026 blog posts for next week, 12/19, I explore the store in a store idea with Walmart, potential collaboration for World University and School for the WS Educational Services stores. Could World University and School in the Walmarts in Eastern Oregon put a store in a store, a WS Educational Services store inside Walmart, and for WUS Outreach? And further in these regards of Eastern Oregon and potentially making free World University and School, free to students World University and School, helpful and accessible in all 18 counties in Eastern Oregon. And regarding coming into conversation with the above and with potentially the departments of education in all of these 18 counties, in also the state of Oregon's Department of Education, and with similar approach that World University and School seeks to take in all 200 countries and all 50 US states, reimbursing WUS for free online WUS degrees. So excited at World University and School in a Grow with Google WS program to potentially grow our physical digital WS educational services stores for hashtag books, computers, robotics, groceries, hospital technologies. Think a Walmart product line, but with an educational focus. In a hashtag realistic virtual earth for retail, for hashtag WUAS outreach, as universities, for hashtag free to students, hashtag free WUAS degrees. First in potentially countries or even states' capitals. So in Oregon, I'm not sure if this would be Salem, Oregon, west of the Cascades, or better, Portland, Oregon, which is a much larger and more vibrant city. Could we start also a WS Educational Services store in a Walmart or in Walmarts around Portland in some of these regards? Portland, Oregon. I went to college in Portland, Oregon, so I'm a little familiar with it. Read more about this in the blog post beginning Siskiyou Kalmiopsis flower from December of 2025 in my blog, scott-mccloud.blogspot.com. Agenda item 5, Germany World University and School auf Deutsch, and in collaboration with German universities, Ministry for Education, and with an online German WUS medical school, potentially in Toyota ambulance vans or Toyota teaching hospital buses too. Christoph Wald, who is in Rochester, Minnesota, as a radiologist. Could we have actually met decades ago in Scotland? Hard to say. Christoph Wald, MD, PhD, MBA, FACR, professor of radiology and SA consultant radiologist at the Mayo Clinic and Mayo College of Medicine and Science, Vice Chair, Board of Chancellors, and Chair, IT Commission and American College of Radiology, Rochester, Minnesota, United States. So a message I sent to him in LinkedIn after we connected there. Thanks for connecting on LinkedIn. Vielen Dank. Alles Gute. Bis später. Scott G.K. McLeod. See this in the news, WS News and question and answer beginning Brook Range in both blogs. Wie können wir Deutschland, World University and School, zusammen weiter aufbauen? Übrigens, die Online-medizinische Schule mit einer zum Beispiel Realistic Virtual Earth, Hashtag for Surgery, Hashtag for Radiology, mehr später. Translated, how can we begin to build a Germany World University and School, especially the online medical school with for example, Realistic Virtual Earth for surgery, for radiology, more later, Scott. So the World University Medical School wiki subject page, which is planned in German, Germany World University and School, the very beginning of this major world-class online university, wiki.worlduniversityandschool.org/wiki/Germany, planned in German. Access it from the nation states wiki subject page at World University and School, and the German language wiki subject page planned in German too, at wiki.worlduniversityandschool.org/wiki/German_language. Agenda item 6. Excited at World Univ and SCH to develop hashtag Marshall Islands WUAS in Marshallese WUS, the Marshallese language, which is also Cajun Majel, I think, for its 42,000 citizens for free. Hashtag WUS degrees, bachelor, law, and hashtag World University in School, and possibly to hashtag end poverty with potentially mindpi.com/SGKMAC with Stanford MindPi cryptocurrency, in addition to excited to develop hashtag Sri Lanka WUAS, India, hashtag India WUAS, hashtag Nigeria WUAS, hashtag Vietnam WUAS. P.S. The Marshall Islands has two official languages, Marshallese, Cajun Majel, a Micronesian language, and English, with Marshallese being the native tongue for most of the population and used in education, while English serves as a second language I found online. Read more about this in the blog post beginning Dikala Sturmna, Excited World University and School, in my blog, DICHELOSTERMRNA, Excited World University and School, from December of 2025 in my blog, scott-mccloud.blogspot.com. Agenda item 7. Here's an interesting brainstorming idea regarding even a realistic virtual Earth for oceans, and think Google Street View with Time Slider, text in the sidebar, where potentially academics could add papers or abstracts to text in the sidebar, add academic papers or abstracts from academic papers to text in the sidebar in Google Street View with Time Slider, say in a realistic virtual Earth for oceans, and brainstorming regarding the notice below, which is about extended abstract deadline for Oceans Past 11, which I think is happening maybe on January 15th, The deadline may be the 15th. How to code this realistic virtual Earth for oceans to manifest, to generate, generative AI wise, what's in a paper's academic abstract, what's in the paper's abstract, just like that. So add papers or abstracts to a realistic virtual Earth for oceans, text in the sidebar, and brainstorming regarding the below. Abstracts are open for this seminar, for this conference, and the theme is ocean connected communities. And the conference is in 15th to the 19th of June, 2026. Code this realistic virtual Earth for oceans to manifest or realize or display or represent or create with generative AI in virtual worlds, virtual Earths. What's in the academic abstract, just like that. I think you can still submit your abstracts the more familiar way by January 15th, 2026. Read more about it in this blog post as well. Laramie Mountains, Wyoming, from posted on January 5th, 2026 in my blog and World University and School .blogspot.com's blog. Agenda item 8. How best to create a first aging reversal genetics course along the lines of MIT OpenCourseware, where Dr. George Church, for example, might even teach at, and how to structure the syllabus and in a realistic virtual Earth for genetics and a realistic virtual Earth for aging reversal, especially. I asked Gemini AI this, and amazingly, got a great response. Also, see the Aging Reversal Genetics wiki school at World University and School at wiki.worlduniversityandschool.org/wiki/aging reversal genetics. I may post this to this wiki subject page. And also check out the article, The Hallmarks of Aging, from the NIH, or published by the NIH, which I think George Church recommends and and what this course, what Gemini AI recommended in this course as well, this possible perspective, Gemini AI, generative AI generated course, syllabus thinking. So Gemini AI says that's a fascinating and ambitious project, especially with someone like Dr. George Church in mind. A course like that, modeled on MIT OpenCourseware, would need a solid structure. Based on how MIT organizes its high-level courses, here's a suggested approach for an aging reversal genetics syllabus and some thoughts on the virtual Earth concept. Syllabus structure. To maintain a rigorous MIT-style approach, the course should balance foundational knowledge with cutting-edge research and practical application. Part 1, Foundational Genetics and Aging Biology, the why and the how. And read further about this in the blog post beginning Canyons of Teton Range, WY, Wyoming, in my blog from December of 2025. Agenda item 9. At 200 hashtag WS universities, all 200 hashtag WS universities are taking a hashtag Quakertarian, hashtag friendly NTF Quaker, hashtag Unitarian Universalist, hashtag 8-limb yoga, hashtag hippie Angeli yoga notations, from scottmccloud.com/yoga notations.html, and hashtag virtual Harbin Hot Springs, hashtag Heart Consciousness Church approach to grow World Univ and SCH. like Wikipedia with ocw.mit.edu. So this is a set of Twitter posts as well. Check them out. Check out these uh, approaches that can inform learning potentially in interesting and generative and ethical as well ways. And read more about this further in the blog post, which begins Canyons of Teton Range, Wyoming. Agenda item 10. Restorative yoga class on Saturdays. And as we may live to 150 and well beyond, Ontario, Oregon. This blog post begins Eagle Cap Wilderness in the Wallowa Mountains OR restorative yoga class on Saturdays. And as we may live to 150 and well beyond, Ontario, Oregon, from Thursday, December 18th, 2025. In this emerging and developing online yoga class and with affiliations with World University and School, where I've taught about two 15-minute exploratory restorative yoga classes. I'm also exploring potentially how yoga and extreme longevity and aging reversal genetic drug therapies may work. And I'm blogging about this as well. I'm seeking to create an interactive yoga class on Saturday mornings at 8 a.m. Pacific time. As soon as a place emerges for this, stay tuned. Check out the blog post also beginning Eagle Cap Wilderness in Wallowa in my blog, scott-mccloud.blogspot.com from December of 2025. Agenda item 11. How could an iterating realistic virtual Earth at World Univ and SCH inform big structural change, coding, and regarding 200 hashtag WUAS universities and Peter Norvig's incredible Toolify AI WUS Revolutionizing Education with Machine Learning and AI article, where structural is a social science word. So this retweets a post from Elizabeth Warren, U.S. Senator and former Harvard Law professor, about structural change is needed in some aspects of the economy and finance, and where the structural change that World University and School seeks to facilitate, potentially in a realistic virtual Earth, involves coding or programming. This possible structural change, which is a social science word that's often been written about, into potentially 200 WS universities in a realistic virtual Earth and regarding revolutionizing education with machine learning and AI. So this retweets Elizabeth Warren's Twitter post. As I look ahead to 2026, I still believe in an America that works for all of us. We can create a vision of big structural change that will charge us forward. Democrats must continue to articulate our values and fight like hell for them, even if it bothers billionaires. So read further about this in the blog post beginning Northern monkshood, Aconitum species, in my blog, scott-mccloud.blogspot.com from January 2026. Agenda item 12. Iran World University and School board members, and in collaboration with Stanford Iranian Studies, Dear Mehdi, Puya, Hassare, Shahrazad Shirvani, Abbas Malani, Stanford Iranian Studies, all Great to meet and talk with you at Bahram Bessier's commemoration at Skylon near Stanford about a week ago. My condolences to the immense circle of family and friends of Bahram Bezier. More about the beginnings of Best STEM CC licensed OpenCourseWare Wiki Iran World University and School here in the Iran Islamic Republic of Wiki World University and School, beginning major online world-class university, wiki.worlduniversityandschool.org/wiki/Iran Islamic Republic of, planned in Persian, Farsi, and building from MIT OpenCourseWare in Persian, which is already in Persian. Access it from the main nation states wiki subject page. And the Persian MIT OpenCourseWare is at this link, opencw.apprende.org/courses/translated-courses/Persian, accessible from translated courses from MIT OpenCourseWare at opencw.apprende.org/courses/translated-courses and ocw.mit.edu. And in Persian, and the Persian language beginning wiki school planned in Persian is also up at World University and School, Persian_language. And here's the incredible Toolify AI WS article by Peter Norvig, Google AI director I mentioned, revolutionizing education with machine learning and AI. And I blogged about the commemoration here in the blog post beginning Northern Monkshood Anconitum SPP for species in January of 2026. And not long after this, Abbas Milani retweeted a New Statesman article on his Twitter X feed, that said there is a revolution happening in Iran. A very interesting part of this conversation, possibly. Mehdi Puya, would you like to join the Iran World University and School Board and grow this further in communication with Stanford Iranian Studies? Best regards, Scott G.K. McLeod. And see more about this in Northern Monkshood Anconitum SPP in my blog from January 2026. Moving to the WS Corporation wing, the second of two WS wings, a for-profit general stock company legal entity in the state of California, the WS Corporation Academic Press in 7,159 living languages with machine learning and translation is emerging. The main current beginning page for this is worlduniversityandschool.org/academicpress.html. How many countries is Walmart in? How could the WS Corporation partner with Walmart? I asked this of Gemini AI and I got another very helpful and incredible reply. How will hashtag WS Educational Services Stores at WS Press in potentially a hashtag Walmart WUS partnering develop a hashtag WS Delivery Trucks, develop with hashtag WS Delivery Trucks and hashtag humanoid robotic robo trucks in 200 countries, languages, and with hashtag physical digital, hashtag brick and mortar, hashtag WUAS stores versus competition, and with hashtag World Univ and SCH store name. And I shared the blog post with Gemini AI that has this in it that begins with Brunsvigia Basmaniai, how many countries in World University and Schools blog. It's also in my blog. And further, ask this also on Twitter. Further, how best will the hashtag WS Educational Services Stores for books, computers, robotics, groceries, hospital technologies, and a product line linked to Walmart's and at WS Press in all 7,159 living languages in potentially partnering with Walmart WS in about 19 out of 200 countries, develop with hashtag WS delivery trucks, even hashtag humanoid robotic robo trucks in all 200 countries and in their main languages, and with hashtag physical digital, hashtag bricks and mortar, hashtag WUS stores against the competition, and with the hashtag World Univ and SCH store name, the World University and School store name, and posted this also to LinkedIn. And Gemini AI's response really is very mind expanding and helpful and offers fascinating thinking and strategizing. The development of hashtag WS Educational Services stores, Gemini AI says, linked to World University and School, represents a massive leap toward a phygital, PHYGITAL, physical plus digital, global infrastructure. By leveraging a potential partnership with Walmart, which already operates in roughly 19 countries, WUS can establish a blueprint for global rollout across all 200 countries. The strategy for scaling and competing under the hashtag World Univ and SCH store name involves several innovative layers. One, the global logistics backbone, hashtag WUAS delivery trucks. To reach 200 countries, the project aims to bypass traditional infrastructure limitations using a tiered delivery system. Hashtag humanoid robotic robo trucks, integrating generative AI like Wabi World and humanoid robotics, similar to UB Tech. Walker S2 allows for end-to-end automation. These trucks wouldn't just drive themselves. The onboard humanoid robots can handle the last mile delivery, walking packages from the curb to the doorstep, which currently accounts for a significant portion of delivery costs. Universal language integration. Each vehicle and robotic unit would be programmed with the local language of the 200 countries, utilizing WS's wiki-based linguistic database, which aims for 7,100 plus languages, to interact with local customers and authorities. Two, the store model, hashtag physical digital, hashtag brick and mortar. The hashtag WUS stores serve as more than just retail outlets. They are learning hubs that compete by offering what Amazon cannot, physical community and immediate academic validation. Walmart partnership, the 19 out of 200 start. By starting in the 19 countries where Walmart has a presence, e.g., USA, Mexico, Canada, India, WS can utilize Walmart's existing supply chain and store within a store models. Academic services. Under standard retail, these stores would provide educational services, on-site centers where students can use high-speed internet to access MIT OpenCourseWare, attend G+ Hangout style seminars, and receive help with the free bachelor, PhD, and MD degrees WUAS plans to offer. 3. Strategy against the competition. To stand out against giants like Amazon and traditional universities, the hashtag World Univ and SCH store name focuses on 3 pillars: cost, accessibility, and technology. 4. Implementation via hashtag WUS Press. The WUS Press at WUS Press arm would likely manage the digital to physical conversion of open source textbooks and hardware. By printing materials on demand within the hashtag WUAS stores, the project eliminates shipping costs for physical educational resources. Fantastic. Super. And there's a video regarding the emergence of humanoid robotics. Quite startling video. Read more about this in the blog post beginning Western Prairie Fringed Orchid from December 29th, I think 2025. Part of the bookstore and publishing idea for World University and School, the academic press at WS School, this is agenda item A1 in the WS Corporation wing, the academic press wing, emerges from my having worked in the Pendle Hill Quaker Study Center for Study and Contemplation, Quaker Center for Study and Contemplation, the Pendle Hill Bookstore and Publishing, as an inspiration for the WS Bookstore and Academic Press. How to build further from this. Agenda item B on the WS Academic Press wing. WS Corporation continues to seek to code for all 7.9 billion people on the planet, from you at World University and in all 200 countries, and among speakers of all 7,159 known living languages in 2026, apparently 2 per the Ethnologue, and to end poverty among the, say, poorest 1 billion people on the planet, as well as to facilitate highest quality people-to-people, wiki, free universal education. Glad to read about this Pi progress, Pi cryptocurrency progress from a Twitter X post from the Pi core team, Pi Network, December 31st, 2025, which is actually my birth date. As 2025 comes to a close, Pi remains focused on steady progress, responsible building, and long-term utility creation. Thank you to all pioneers for being part of the journey, and Happy New Year. And read about this in a blog post from Pi, mindpi.com/blog/pi-2025-year-end. Read the end of the year blog for a look back at Pi's accomplishment in 2025 and its continued long-term strategy. Agenda item B1, with a further invitation to you who may be watching this WS Weekly Business Meeting, WS News and Question and Answer, with a further invitation to get Stanford MindPi free money daily on your smartphone, and by pressing 2 buttons and taking less than 5 seconds every 24 hours, and to potentially end poverty worldwide as a kind of connecting process in these regards. By mining Pi, you may be able to facilitate ending poverty worldwide, where Pi is a new digital currency developed by Stanford PhDs with over 55 million members worldwide. To claim your Pi, follow this link, mindpi.com/SGKMAC, and use my username, SGKMAC, as your invitation code. So that's the WUS News and Question and Answer on Monday, January 12th, 2026. And I will post the recording of this first to the main current YouTube channel for WUS, Scott McCloud World University, youtube.com/Scott McCloud World University /videos, and to the blog posts for this week and last week, January 12th and January 5th. January 12th, beginning with the mountain chain Rogaveld Mountains in South Africa, and on January 12th, on both blogs, and last week's blog beginning with Laramie Mountains, Wyoming, in both blogs, as well as to the main Twitter feeds for World University and School, twitter.com/WORLDUNIVANDSCH, and twitter.com/WUAS Press, as well as to main LinkedIn feeds for World University and School. One is World University and School WS Corporation. So if you have questions or know of students who might be interested in matriculating at World University and School, please let me know at president at World University and School. And World University and School is our main current webpage. Come into conversation with World University and School on Twitter X, on LinkedIn, via email, via YouTube, or comments, for example, or in other ways. Until next week, January 19th, 2026, Monday at 10 a.m. Pacific time. See you online, and bye and thanks. Till next time.